Hello. So the CBT2 for Duet Night Abyss has just released very recently, and many people have had definitely varying opinions, most of them being positive compared to CBT1, which isn't obvious, as it should be. But it does go deeper than that, so I will be talking a bit about people's reactions to the CBT2 and the game in general. Unfortunately, I do not have the CBT2 myself, do not have access to it myself. So if there's some inaccurate information, there's that. But I'll try my best. My name is Penixa, and let's dive into this. So, one big thing that many people have seen, including during like various streams and videos, is that the visuals look stunning. Like all the character models look insane, all the animations, the UI look a hell of a lot better than they were previously in CBT1. And I would say probably the biggest upgrade is the environment. The environment overall and the open world feeling feels so much better, so much clean, so much more real than before. Because before it looked like somewhat of a low budget-y game, but now this looks like a really high quality, really nice looking environment, nice looking game. And that I really appreciate it, especially for a game, an open world game like this, with several different expressions, several different characters, and all that. So, the movement apparently is quite interesting because this game takes apparently heavy inspiration from Warframe, so it doesn't have the traditional movement of other gacha games, say like Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves or another game, open world game like that. And while it does have like basic stuff, it doesn't have other stuff like it doesn't have a sprint option. However, it has some like technical dashes that require some various different like techniques and inputs to put in. Apparently it's like there's a wall climbing or wall thing apparently. However, many people find that while it is quite extensive to say the least, it's still a bit like not too fluid, and people have really complained about the sprint. And to be honest, yeah, I would 100% agree. The sprinting, they definitely need to add some type of sprint, at least a way to like dodge the enemies. Other than that, because then you're just like fighting enemies and all you're doing is just mashing your attacks. That's it. And that would make combat at least like a lot less interesting because then you're not actually paying attention to the enemies to or the boss. You're just mashing your buttons. So not really the best combat experience. Also, another quick thing is apparently you can't swim. You know, in some sections where there's like a little bit of, even if it's like a little bit of water, if you jump in the water, you just like respawn on the ground. Like you just respawns you on the ground, which is very weird. I don't know why it does that. And definitely needs to add some type of either being able to swim on top of the water, or maybe like stand a little bit in the water. Yeah. The combat, however, is also quite similar to Warframe. It has most of the characters use a dual wield system. So there's two weapons. For example, the main character uses a sword and a gun. So they have a sword as in their main hand, and the offhand could be a gun, and it's you can use different buttons for that. I've seen that several people believe that the game is just too easy, that you don't really need the gun, to be honest. And I would say it's not that big of a deal because one, they'll obviously fix it for the actual release, and two, uh, I've played a little bit of Warframe, and to be honest, the early game at least of Warframe is very easy. You can like blitz everything through maybe a gun with just a gun, or blitz everything through just a sword. Once you actually get deeper into Warframe, then you have to start like utilizing your builds, utilizing your weapons, knowing when to use what, and all that stuff. And I think Duet Night Abyss, or at least I hope, it will deliver a very similar experience in which like maybe in the beginning it becomes easy, but then over time you're gonna have to learn how to use different weapons, like and different times. Speaking of customization, you can customize, this was shown back in the CBT1 as well. You can customize your characters pretty much. So you can quite literally just change the colors of your characters, which to me is just quite insane. Like they would add a customization feature. You can like set like a main color for maybe the main dress, and have highlights, and then you can add accessories, and this is like insane. I mean, even this one, they even have a accessory for Genshin Impact players here. But I don't know because with this, uh, I'm wondering, are they going to sell skins with because of this? You know, because we can like customize this all for free. You know, we have different dyes that we will obtain for free during the game, but will they make skins? Because skins are do sell. Skins do sell in the gacha games. I mean, just now we have Wuwa skins, and yeah, people are going crazy over the recent Carlotta and Changli skins. So I wonder how that's gonna work. If they're gonna even do it at all. If they'll even do it at all, because they have to make some serious changes other than just colors. One major problem that I have seen is that the game does work quite well on PC. It does the work quite well, of course, because it's a PC. However, it is severely unoptimized and very laggy and looks terrible to play on mobile. Regardless of even if you have advanced, like more advanced phone, like say even a Samsung S24, for example, you know, just out of blue, it looks pretty bad, to be honest. And this is advertised as also being a mobile game, a game you can play on mobile. And while the mobile market isn't that big, at least for gacha games, at least because I would say most people would prefer to play this game on PC because it's just a better experience. For those mobile players out there, I do feel bad. Hopefully, I mean, they definitely will try to optimize it more, but to be honest, this does like reveal a much bigger issue that you know what I might talk about in a later video about just mobile gacha gaming in general. But yeah, not looking good for mobile players. Not looking good. Now for that, now from what I've seen with the story does look and sound amazing. You know, apparently you're just like a twin with a brother or sister, whoever you choose to be, you know, at the beginning because you can choose your gender. You like a sibling is like this important person, and then you are also this important person. The government, I guess we'll call it, is trying to hunt you down, and it all looks super interesting, and a lot, and also it's a lot more like not necessarily gritty, but a lot more like real. You know, also given like they're trying to get like a younger audience, like 12 or 13 plus, because if you get the 12 or plus or 13 plus rating, you're gonna make more money. You know, that's just how it is because you have a bigger audience. But to be honest, like some of the stuff they have, I'm really glad they do it. That it, despite even if it might not hold up in the age rating, but yeah. I will say, some of the voice acting is really nice, but then some of the other voice acting could be improved slightly, and also the maybe the character models could be improved slightly, and other stuff. But that's just minor nitpicks that they will definitely look into and fix for the final release. So I'm not really worried about that at all. Unless we were talking about SAG-AFTRA voice actors, then hell yeah, I'm worried. Hell yeah. And so yeah, this gacha game seems very promising with its story, its combat, its open world nature, the visuals and everything. But at the end of the day, this is a gacha game. So how is the gacha itself? Looking into it, it's actually one of the better ones, like one on the better side. For instance, in the beginning, obviously, there's gonna be beginner banners. You're gonna get a ton of currency with like a discounted pull rate, maybe, or like lower pity. You can choose your 5-star. Apparently, in CBT1, they didn't have that. Like you couldn't choose your 5-star from that beginner banner, and those are the standard banner characters, obviously. But still, I can't believe they would do that. At least they fixed it, but yeah. And then here's the kicker. So the character banner and the weapon banner are like pretty much identical to what I like to call the Genshin banner system. Well, everyone calls it a Genshin banner system. So starting with the weapons, so the weapon is actually the more like Wua, because it has 80 pity for your 80 pity for the 5-star with no 50-50. There you are guaranteed no 50-50, no 75-25, no 70-30. You are guaranteed to get the weapon that you pulled for once you get a 5-star. Which is amazing because why does 50-50 even exist? I have no clue. And also this game also has 50-50 system as well. Because not only didn't implement no 50-50 for the weapon, but also for the character. So for the characters, it is 90 pity, so like Genshin. However, what they've done is that what they have it is it's 90 pity obviously. Once you get a 5-star, your first 5-star you get from like the limited banner is completely like no 50-50. It's completely guaranteed. You are going to get the rate up banner character that you get for the limited, which is insane. However, there's like a slight caveat, though to be honest, I wouldn't really consider it a caveat. Oh, it depends. Is that the first time you wish on a random on a selected limited character banner, it will be guaranteed, no 50-50 at all. However, if you keep deciding to pull the same character after that first time, then those will have 50-50s. And I think this is this is really nice. At least for free to play. For spenders, yeah, you might have to spend a bit more than you might have thought with because of this pity system. For free to plays who generally only get like one copy of each character and then maybe a few weapons, this is insane. As a free to play player myself, I see this as a massive, massive W. I, however, do have one very slight concern, and it isn't like I don't think it will be a problem. It's just that hopefully most of the characters won't require dupes, so you only have to pull them one time. But I don't think that'll be an issue. I'm probably just like over worried about it. But yeah, that right there is Duet Night Abyss. That's a CBT2 review from what I've seen and heard. This game looks absolutely stunning, quite literally visually, and is definitely a game I will 100% be picking up. So the CBT2 apparently ends in July, early July, I believe July 2nd, if I remember correctly. So after that, I will be heavily monitoring for release date. Because goddamn, there's so many gacha games, except they're probably gonna release in like 2030. So at least this game will release somewhat sooner, as it's in CBT2. Anyway, that's it pretty much. Hope you enjoyed the video and everything talking about Duet Night Abyss. If you want more of this content, subscribe. If you want more of this content or something similar, subscribe. Yep. Like the video and comment down what do you think was the best part of the CBT2, And that's it. I'll see you in the next one. See you later.